Art of the auction, rare masterpieces sold for millions. How much money would you be willing to spend on a piece of art that captivates you? There is no disputing the power that a stunning artwork possesses. It can elicit a wide range of feelings and can even serve as the focal point of a room. However, at what expense? When it comes to the amount of money that some collectors are ready to spend on quality artwork, there is no ceiling on what they will pay. These are the artworks that have sold for the greatest money anywhere in the globe. Number 10, Gustav Klimt's Water Serpents 2. The total amount spent on the painting was $170 million. Water Serpents 2, which was finished in 1907, is the second piece in a sequence of paintings that reflect the sensual essence of the female body. The Nazis took the elaborately adorned painting from Jewish collector Jenny Steiner and gave it to a Nazi filmmaker during World War II. The painting had been seized by the Nazis during the war. When it was placed up for sale by Sotheby's in 2015, the piece was brought back into the public glare for the first time in a while. Following a few transitions of ownership, the painting was finally offered for sale once more in 2017 for the sum of $170 million to a bidder whose identity remained confidential. It can currently be seen hanging on the walls of the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. Number 9, Rembrandt van Rijn is credited with creating these portraits of Martin Soelmans and Owapian Koppen. The total amount spent on the painting was $180 million. A young Rembrandt finished the pair of full-length wedding portraits of Martin Soelmans and Owapian Koppen in 1634. The paintings were displayed at their wedding. The two portraits, in contrast to many other portrait pairs from the 17th century, have been preserved together ever since they were painted. In 1878, the portraits were acquired by the Rothschild family, who eventually parted with them through Christie's, so that they might be displayed in the Louvre and the Rijksmuseum, respectively. The portraits are rotated between the two museums in Europe, so that they are never displayed in different locations at the same time. Number 8, Number 6 Inches by Mark Rothko, which features the colors violet, green, and red. The total amount spent on the painting was $186 million. Mark Rothko's Number 6, which was completed in 1951, contains two swaths of violet and brilliant red, which are separated by a barrier of green. In the same manner as many of his other works, it would appear as though the bold colors are organically blending into one another thanks to the fact that the borders of each of the three areas have been rounded off. The painting set a new record for the artist when it was sold in a private transaction in 2014 for an astounding amount of $186 million. Number 7, Andy Warhol shot Sage Blue, Maryland. The total amount spent on the painting was $195 million. The shot in Sage Blue by Andy Warhol at Christie's sale in 2022. Maryland caused quite a stir in the art world when it was purchased by American art dealer Larry Gagosian for just slightly more than $195 million. Silk screening and cropping a publicity photo from the film Niagara were the methods that Andy Warhol used to produce the painting, which is a trademark piece in his body of work. The painting is one of 5 paintings that make up a series. Dorothy Podber, a prominent performance artist, famously visited Warhol's studio and shot at 4 of the paintings in the series with a gun. This is how the series got its name after that. Repairs were made to them, but the name was never changed. Number 6, Rembrandt's painting titled The Standard Bearer. The total amount spent on the painting was $198 million. The Standard Bearer, which was painted by Rembrandt in 1636, and is considered to be one of his most brilliant masterpieces, is a self-portrait of the Dutch Golden Age painter. Before its acquisition by the Rothschild family in 1844, the picture was originally owned by King George IV of England. Late in the year 2021, it was stated that the Dutch government intended to purchase the artwork from the Rothschild to add it to the national collection of the country. The picture was finally sold to the Netherlands in 2022 for the equivalent of approximately $198 million at the price of €175 million. Since then, it has been on special display in museums located all over the country. Number 5, the work by Jackson Pollock titled Number 17A. The cost of the painting was $200 million. Jackson Pollock was a pioneer in the abstract expressionist movement. He gained recognition as a result of his drip technique, in which he would pour paint over a canvas that was sometimes stretched out on the floor. This allowed Pollock to convey emotion through movement in his paintings. One of Jackson Pollock's early works that makes use of this method is titled Number 17A. It is an abstract painting that depicts a kaleidoscope of color spread across a fiberboard canvas. In 2015, Billionaire Kenneth C. Griffin made the purchase of the painting from the David Geffen Foundation for the price of $200 million. Number 4. Paul Gauguin's painting titled Nafea Fire Poipo. The total amount spent on the painting was $210 million. One of the first paintings that Paul Gauguin created after returning from his first trip to Tahiti in 1891 was titled When Will You Marry? Nafea Fire Poipo? The title translates to When Will You Marry? The subject of the picture is a local young woman who is wearing a white flower in her hair. In traditional Tahitian culture, wearing a flower in the hair denotes that a person is ready for marriage. The young woman's mother is seen sitting protectively over her as she looks on. A Swiss trader named Rudolf Stachelen was said to have transacted the sale of the Gauguin painting to a Qatari client for the sum of $300 million, according to the initial reports. Despite this, a lawsuit filed in 2017 revealed that the painting was only sold for $210 million. Number 3. Paul Cézanne's painting titled The Card Players. The painting was purchased for a price of $250 million. In the 1890s, Paul Cézanne produced a series of 5 paintings that depicted laborers playing cards. These paintings were titled Card Players. Cézanne's previous works were known for their vibrant colors and dramatic subject matter. In contrast, this picture, which depicts 2 men engaged in a game, is more subdued and serene. Although most of the paintings in the series are on exhibit in museums all over the world, the royal family of Qatar paid $250 million for this particular artwork in 2011 and has it on display in their home. Number 2. Willem de Kooning's interchange painting. $300 million was paid for the painting. Willem de Kooning, a Dutch-American artist who was sometimes referred to as the artist's artist, was instrumental in the development of the abstract expressionist style, with the gestural works that were frequently based on figures, landscapes, and still life. The transition in de Kooning's art from painting largely women to painting more abstract urban scenes can be seen in the painting interchange. The pink area in the middle of the piece serves as the point of interest, because it depicts a woman relaxing while surrounded by a crowded background. In September 2015, Kenneth C. Griffin made the transaction to purchase the oil painting from the David Geffen Foundation for the sum of $300 million. Number 1. Leonardo da Vinci's painting Salvator Mundi. The total amount spent on the painting was $450 million. At a Christie's auction in 2017, the painting Salvator Mundi was purchased by an unidentified buyer for little more than $450 million. According to an article published in the New York Times, the buyer was acting on behalf of a Saudi prince named Badr bin Abdullah bin Mohammed bin Farhan Al Saud. Since that time, the artwork has been in the possession of the Saudi Arabian Culture Ministry. The picture, known as Salvator Mundi, which translates to Savior of the World, is not only the most costly painting in the world, it is also often considered to be the most divisive. The overall composition isn't exactly consistent with da Vinci's style, which is one of the reasons why many experts in the field are skeptical that Leonardo da Vinci was the sole author of the piece. A study that was carried out by the Louvre in 2018 concluded that the painting underwent a gradual transformation, with Leonardo adding the hands and arms at a later time. So this is the end of our today's video. Do you like it? Kindly give your valuable response in our comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting and informative videos.